You kept your job. That's exactly why you should worry. Everyone else wasn't so lucky. AI took their work. Overnight. Not in some distant future. Not in a headline you could scroll past. It happened while you were asleep, and you woke up on the winning side of history. At first, nothing changed. Your paycheck arrived. Coffee tasted normal. Traffic still moved. You smiled. You survived. Or so you thought. Losing your job was never the actual danger. The danger was always what happens to everyone standing next to you. Stores opened later. Shelves stayed empty. Friends stopped calling. They were gone. Then your company celebrated. Record profits. You finally made it. But here's what nobody expected. Customers disappeared. Businesses failed. Money kept existing. It just stopped moving. Why does that matter so much? An economy isn't a pile of money. It's a current. It only works if it keeps flowing, paycheck to purchase, purchase to paycheck, millions of times a day. This is a demand shock. What happens when machines replace workers faster than new jobs appear to absorb them? Not a clean swap, one job out, one job in. A gap, where the money those workers used to spend simply stops circulating. That gap is where your story lives. You still had your paycheck. But the barista who made your coffee didn't. The delivery driver didn't. The mechanic, the cashier, gone, all at once. Think about your own street. The coffee shop needs customers. The customers need jobs. The jobs need customers of their own. It's a loop, and loops break when too many links vanish at once. Your next paycheck arrived. Nobody accepted it. Money is only valuable if someone else believes it's valuable too. Belief was the first casualty. Trust was the second. The lights went out. The internet followed. You still had a job. There was nowhere left to use it. Your job was never the thing keeping your life running. It was one thread in a fabric held together by millions of other people's jobs too. Pull enough threads out at once, and it doesn't matter how strong your own thread is. The whole fabric comes apart underneath you. Ecologists have a term for this, a keystone collapse. Remove one keystone species, and everything downstream unravels. Not because it did everything, but because everything else depended on it. You didn't lose your job. You lost the world your job existed inside of. Efficiency doesn't announce itself as a threat. It arrives wearing the mask of good news. Disasters that happen to other people rarely feel like disasters. They feel like headlines. Right up until the day they don't. We spent years asking the wrong question. We asked, will AI take my job? We should have asked, what happens to me if it takes everyone else's? A society isn't held together by any one person's paycheck. It's held together by the sum of everyone's paychecks, moving in a current too vast for any single person to see. You can survive losing your job. What's harder to survive is everyone losing theirs at once, because there's no rebuilding when there's no one left to rebuild with. Picture the exact moment you understood that. Not the news alert. The silence. No espresso machine hissing 2 floors down. No coworkers arguing about lunch, because half the break room doesn't exist anymore. Nobody teaches you that a paycheck is only real when there's a functioning world willing to accept it. Money is a promise, not a possession. Break enough of the people who could keep that promise, and it stops meaning anything at all. No robots marched down your street. No alarms went off. The danger was quieter than that, because you can't fight a current stopping. You can only watch the riverbed go dry. You needed thousands of jobs you never thought about, held by people you never met, quietly propping up the version of the world where your own job still mattered. Nobody warned you that your security was borrowed from systems so vast and ordinary they were invisible right up until they weren't. Ask yourself the question this story was always building toward. Not, will AI take my job? The real question, how many other people's jobs is your life quietly depending on, without you ever noticing? You kept your job. That's exactly why you should worry. AI didn't replace your future. It replaced the people your future needed.